earlier, but the problem's been resolved. Welcome, Dr. Rosemary Chika Ilechukwu from Nigeria. She's a doctor of economics. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Dr. Lambert. I'm so sorry for the technical of connecting myself to the computer, due to one problem or the other. I thank you so much for your patience, and then I thank God that at least I'm able to reconnect now. I am Dr. Rosemary Chika Ilechukwu. Yeah, just the graduate of this last March, May 2022 graduates of the Atlantic International University. I graduated on economics. Now, when I got a mail, symposium, I was very, very happy, and I thank God that, for the opportunity given to me. I'm so enlightened, and I'm so happy that I'm being appointed as one of the presenters to this symposium. And then I have to go on to present small and medium-sized enterprises. That's a global problem of financing. Now, in my presentation, I started with the definition of a small, medium enterprises. And it goes as saying, small and medium-sized enterprises are defined as enterprises which employ fewer than 250 persons, and they have an annual turnover not exceeding 50 million euros, or an annual balance sheet total not exceeding 43 million euros. Slide. The small and medium-sized enterprise are very heterogeneous group of businesses, usually operating in the service, in the trade, agribusiness, and the manufacturing sectors. They include a wide variety of firms such as village handcraft makers, small machine shops, and computer software firms that possesses a wide range of sophistication and skills. Some are dynamic, innovative, and growth-oriented, while others are satisfied to remain small and perhaps family-owned. Small and medium enterprises usually operate in the formal sectors of the economy and employ mainly wage-earning workers. They are often classified by the number of employees or by the values of their assets. The size classification varies within regions and across countries relative to the size of the economy and its endowment. So it is very, very important to know that there is a minimum as well as a maximum size for small, medium enterprises. Nice. The importance of small, medium enterprise. They are the energy of growth, and they are essential for competitive and efficient market. They are critical for poverty reduction, and they play a particular important role in developing countries. Slide, please. Then, in the 1990s, when it came, 90% of the world economic enterprises are majorly that is small, medium enterprise around the world. And they account for 55 to 95% of the country's GDP. More than 50% of the world's labor force is employed by small, medium enterprise. So globally, small, medium enterprise generate the largest number of new employment opportunities each year. They are the most dynamic component of the world economy. They are essentials for economic and social progress. Slide. The small, medium enterprise, when you classify it as the energy of growth, They are the energy of growth in the sense that the sector is the largest provider of employment in most countries, especially of new jobs. They are a major source of technological innovations and the new products. SMEs, small and medium enterprises, they tend to employ poor and low income workers. They are sometimes the only source of employment in poor regions and the rural areas. The self-employment is the only source of income for many poor, because that is the only business they can easily embark upon without much finances or the businesses that are very capital intensive. So they play a particular important role in developing countries where poverty is most severe. Then in the definition of the small, medium scale enterprises, we'll now go on to the definition of the export. So we are doing this definition of the export. They were talking of the commodities carried or sent to another country and to ship outside a country or region. Export pull option. Exports act as a pull factor to bring this small, medium enterprise together, because in domestic markets, they are already competing with each other, but in exports, they need help and advice. The exports act as a pull factor to bring this small, medium enterprise together, because in domestic markets, they are already competing with each other, but in the exports, they need help and advice that will not help them carry on with their exportation of their goods and their services. Then export consortia. Export consortia is a tool to increase small, medium enterprise export. They are usually have, because of the difficulty exporting to foreign markets, so they may lack the necessary knowledge and financing, which may not meet foreign regulatory requirements, or may produce products in quantities or quality that are not adequate for foreign buyers, among many other potential problems. However, these problems can often be overcome through cooperation among small, medium enterprises by combining their knowledge, financial resources, and contacts within an export consortium. They can significantly improve their export potentials and reduce the cost and risk involved in penetrating foreign markets. What is an export consortium? An export consortium is a voluntary alliance of firms with the objective of promoting the goods and services of its members abroad and facilitating the export of this product through joint actions. So members of a consortium realize that cooperation must prevail over competition in order to access key markets and the latest technology. An export consortium can be seen as a formal medium to long-term strategic cooperation between firms that act as a service provider specialized in facilitating access to foreign markets. Most consortia are non-profit entities. They don't make profit. What is an export consortium? Export consortium not only exist among firms in the manufacturing sector, but can also be found in the service sector as well as among artisans. In Italy, for instance, the country with the most expensive consortia experiences the main operative sectors of export consortia are plant, machineries, and engineering. You have textile, clothing, leatherwares, footwear, food, wine, beverages, chemicals, wood and furniture, glass, crystalware, construction, industry, and related sectors, electronic goods, electronic technology and optical instruments, jewelries, costume, and costume jewelries. Why opt for an export custodian? Small medium enterprise often have considerable difficulties to enter foreign markets. Export consortia can not only assist their members to achieve an export presence, but can only entail significant additional benefits. They usually have difficulties exporting to foreign markets. They may lack, one, the necessary knowledge and financing. They may not meet foreign regulatory requirements, or may produce products in quantities or quality that are not adequate for foreign buyers, among many other potential problems. However, these problems can often be overcome through cooperation among small, medium enterprises. First, by combining their knowledge, their financial resources, and then contacts within an export custodian. Small medium enterprise can significantly improve their export potentials and reduce the cost and risk involved in penetrating the foreign markets. Export custodian, a possible solution to it by cooperating within an export custodian, which combines the expertise and financial means of several firms. Small medium enterprise can overcome the obstacles and effectively enter and develop foreign markets at reduced cost and risk. At the same time, members can improve their profitability and achieve efficiency gain and accumulate knowledge in the course of exporting. Then risk reduction. How they can reduce risk by improving firm access to information on foreign markets and by leading to a greater diversification of export. Export consortia can significantly reduce the risk of exporting and employing new business opportunity abroad. Diversification is achieved through an increase in the number of markets targeted, as well as through a reduction of seasonal inflations in exports, especially when markets are geographically dispersed. Then to improve the productivity, to improve profitability, participation in an export consortium can greatly improve the profit margin of member firms through a variety of savings, the development of an export strategy, and the achievement of stable exports. Within export consortia, members share administrative and promotional costs and thus avoid the expenses of establishing their own export department by jointly using transportation and other export facilities. Additional time and cost savings can be achieved. In addition to this, consortia help their members to move from simple supplying products to customers, that's reactive exporting, towards developing a true export strategy where domestic marketing activities can be extended and the technical sophistications and or prices are not simply prescribed by clients, that's an active exporting. Then the efficiency gain of the small scale enterprises, interfirm cooperation of the type found in Custodian allows small medium enterprises to overcome the challenges arising from their small size and to exploit economics of scale and scope, which cannot be attained by the individual firm. By pooling financial and human resources and by sharing information and experiences, members of a consortium can improve and intensify their promotional activities abroad. In addition, activities can be undertaken that individual firms may not be able to carry out on their own, such as market research and product development. But the knowledge that has been accumulated, one of the most important benefits of export custodia is linked to the accumulation of know-how. Firms participating in export custodia typically have limited export experience and are in the early stages of export market entry or expansions. By participating in an export custodian, members can improve their knowledge of how to operate in foreign markets, how to improve business operations in areas not related to exporting, and on how to participate in alliances. Exporting is a classical example of learning by doing. By participating in an export custodian, members can tap the different export relative resources and skills within the individual firms. Additionally, members may exchange knowledge in several areas, such as on how to negotiate with banks or on how to implement certain technical standards. Now move on to types of export custodian. Export custodians differ from respect to the service they provide. They are those that offers only basic secretarial functions, assist with translations, and or provide market research. There are, however, also those that help members develop a complete export strategy and provide a wider range of services, including collective purchases of input, legal assistance, the creation of a custodian brand, and other forms of marketing. The two main types of custodian can be distinguished as promotional and sales custodian. Within this classification, several varieties of export custodian can be identified. One, single sector and multi-sector custodian, custodian grouping competitors and those offering complementary goods and services. Regional custodian and those comprising members from several regions. Then custodian targeting a specific region and those active on a global scale. Promotional and skills consortia, whereas the former refers to an alliance created to exploit specific export markets by sharing promotional and logistic costs. The latter represent an entity that channels the members' export. Promotional custodians thus confine themselves to promoting the product of their members and to assist this in accessing foreign markets. Sales are directly performed by the associated companies. Sales custodians, on the other hand, perform business promotion activities and organize the sale of member firms' products to ensure a certain image. This type of custodian often control the quality of the marketed products, while the number of member firms is typically limited in a sales custodian. Promotional custodian usually have a significant number of members. Within sales custodian, member firms delegate the authority to do business in their name to the managers of the custodian. Two types of sales custodian exist, and they are trading custodian, which are those that purchase the product from members' firm in order to resell them. And the second one is custodian acting as export agents. Single sector and multiple sector custodian. Single sector allows activities to focus on members' firm product, as these are more homogeneous than those of firms belonging to multi-sector custodian. In addition, firms active in a specific sector tend to be acquainted with each other and to have greater knowledge of each other's businesses than those operating in several sectors. And this is likely to improve cooperation among members. The main benefit of multi-sector custodian is that a wider range of products can be offered. For example, a custodian might be able to offer a complete range of hotel supplies, lifts, furniture, decorations, lighting, and kitchen equipment. So the cost savings are attainable for this type of custodian, provided that products are sufficiently close so that the same promotional methods can be applied to all goods and services. Despite the variety of firms within a multi-sector, a custodian, the group should be able to portray a common image. It is thus essential that members' products are compatible with respect to design and quality. Whereas the main binding elements between members of single sector consortia are their familiarity with each other and the products they produce. Members of multi-sector consortium often, only share the will to access foreign markets. Regional consortia and those comprising members from several regions. Whether consortia comprises members of a specific region or of several regions typically depends on whether the initiative to establish a consortium comes from a national organization of enterprises in a specific sector or a local chamber of commerce. National consortia have the advantage that they can bring geographically dispersed firms into contact. They are thus more representative and may result in less competitive between members than regional groups. Regional consortia, on the other hand, often have a specific local purpose. For instance, the promotion of typical food products or artisans' goods. These types of consortia often emerge out of industrial distress. In conclusion, experiencing has shown that particularly small firms and those at the early stages of export activities can derive the greatest benefit from participation in an export consortium. They are most in need of assistance and thus the most motivated to participate actively. Particularly in OIC member states, export consortia can be an important mechanism to promote export. Firms in these countries often do not have the infrastructure and the access to information and other resources that their counterparts in industrialized countries have. Most importantly, establishing a consortium may initiate a process and not just create an entity by fostering inter-firm cooperation and in areas unrelated to export. Consortia improve the business environment for small, medium enterprises and enhance the capacity of firms to take advantage of market opportunity. Export consortia can thus be a first step of a comprehensive strategy to strengthen the competitiveness of small, medium scales through inter-firm cooperation. Thanks for listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rosemary Chika from Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, we have heard from a true doctor of economics. I am kind of echoing what has been written throughout the chat line by some other participants, and they agree upon the idea that Dr. Rosemary's presentation was truly outstanding from multiple perspectives. Thank you very much, Dr. Rosemary. Very scientific approach as well to the world of SMEs,
You're welcome.
Medium enterprises. I understand, for example, the importance of concepts like export, consortium, non-profit entities, and so many others that Dr. Rosemary has explained with a clarity that was really impressive. I am not asking Dr. Rosemary to answer my question since the priority is for you, ladies and gentlemen, the attendees. But if Dr. Rosemary happens to have the time later on before we jump onto the next presentation, I would truly appreciate that she clarifies this issue for me. Unless I am the one who sort of misunderstood what Dr. Rosemary was saying, it looks like at the very beginning of the presentation, she mentioned small, medium enterprises with assets like 45 million euros. 45 million euros. I did not quite understand that because here in the United States, an enterprise that has that kind of asset, 45 million, that is not a small business, that's a big business. Because 45 million euros, that is 47 million US dollars. And if we were to convert that into Nigerian naira, as Dr. Rosemary is from Nigeria, if we convert 45 million euros, 47 million US dollars into Nigerian naira, we're talking about close to 20 quadrillions, not 20 million, 20 quadrillions. So if there is an opportunity for Dr. Ilechukwu to clarify this issue.
It's not a mistake. I'm talking about $43,000, not a euro.
Ah, okay. So this was my mistake.
Yeah.
This was my mistake because 45,000, that's way from apart from 45 million. Thank you very much, Dr. Rosemary. When I was teaching in high school, I used to tell my students to be thoroughly attentive, and here I am failing to implement that. I apologize, Dr. Chika. We have some hands.
You are tired, yeah. It's an oversight.
No. For AIU students, I'm never tired, you know. Sometimes 3 a.m., 4 a.m., I wake up and I jump onto the computer to check on students' work. When it comes to education in general, I am never tired. All my students, I don't do that with AIU students, but usually I have my phone number, my private email, everything available to students. I'm never tired. For you guys, AIU students, I am always awake and ready to respond to whatever inquiry, questions, or concerns that you have. But for now, let's first go to the hands up to ask questions. And my first stop is going to be with Lombayi Jires. Go ahead, Lombayi. Dr. Rosemary is listening to you. Lombayi seems to have moved. Stepped outside maybe for a cup of coffee or whatever, glass of juice, I don't know. But Bernardo Quinjango, you're next.
Yes, you can hear me now there?
Very well.
Yes, thank you. So Dr. Rosemary talked about economic and the social progress. And to get the social progress is a very high tax. And when we talk about economics, we are talking about sustainable development. So as we are students looking for innovations, new ideas, maybe my question should be, as I am a citizen of the world who is looking for sustainability, what are the steps that take us to that social progress from economy, or that take us from that social progress? Because we were taken to social progress. I don't know if I'm clear.
Can you repeat it again?
As we
hear you well.
Yes, as we
repeat your question, yeah.
Yes, as we are a citizen in the world,
okay.
Economy is the way that it takes us to sustainable development.
Okay.
So it's not easy, as Dr. Rosemary says, economics and the social progress. You to have economy and the social progress, you have to work hard for a long time.
Yeah.
That's why we have a world economy difference.
Like what is the question? That's what Dr. was.
What are the steps that can take us to that social progress from economy?
Okay.
You got it, Dr. Rosemary?
Yeah, you can. I
Did
think,
you get me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Chika.
Okay. Yeah, from the question you asked, how to improve the economy. By that, one is that when you improve the level of information, so for this small media enterprise, letting them know what they need to, have, letting them know that where they need to start from, and then through the exposures, and then again through, let's say financing, and then through contact and through knowledge. So by the time you sensitize, give them information on the things that they need to know and their alliance, to improve on their small scale businesses. Because of the way things are in the country, people just wake up overnight, they think of what next do I do, but they don't know the actual way, to follow it up. That is now left on somebody to now give them the idea, the innovative ideas, and then the informations and the things that they really need to embark upon in order to achieve that thing, and then to break through the economy.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe we have another question from Acacio Edu Guema. Are you there, Acacio? Acacio has also stepped out. All right. Bernardo Quinja.
Yes, I can hear you, though.
Okay, you're the one who just asked the question from Dr. Rosemary. Are you okay with the answer that you got?
Actually, I couldn't be very clear because what I could ask, the methods that take us to social progress.
Wow, unfortunately, you are cutting.
When you have economy, you have.
Wow.
Sometimes you have economy. Why here in Africa? Are you able to hear me?
Right.
Hello?
Now, yes.
Yes. I was saying sometimes we have economy, but that economy doesn't benefit everyone in the country. And Dr. Rosemary said, economy and the social progress. So my question is, what are the steps for that social progress for everyone? Or what are the methodology for everyone to benefit from economy, to take people to that social progress?
Let me try to address that issue. If I am not exact, I would request some help then from Dr. Rosemary. What I want to say about this social progress is a concept. When we talk about concepts, we are also looking into steps that we can undertake to get into the concept, bring that concept into multiple chunks so that we can work on each chunk, in order to move into, all aspects or dimensions of the concepts. Now, let me try to be a little down to earth when it comes to this to get a little clearer than what I just said. What happens is, let's say, as an illustration, the government or some private sector stakeholders manage to have a school system with, let's say, any number, 400 schools. So 400 schools, let's say, for a population of roughly 8,000 or 9,000 people, that is kind of enough. However, is every single student gonna profit from whatever is available to them within the schools? The answer is no. Resources are there. The teachers are there, the curriculum data are there, everything is there. The teachers, the professors, the library, the computers, the technology, and so forth and so on. Everything is in there. But it takes some kind of individual move to get those resources. They are there, but if someone is too lazy or has some other types of deficiencies, to whatever extent, does not make the appropriate efforts to get those resources, they are there, made available by the government and private sector. That individual is not going to get access to those resources, which means the social progress implies first the actions of the government or some other private sectors who have the capability for such, along with the specific efforts of every single entity, every single individual. You don't make the move, you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're not gonna get it. Let's take as an example also Atlantic International University. The school is there. The school is there, meaning that the possibilities are endless. But if someone does not move to get access to those possibilities, well, that individual might be complaining about not getting a bachelor's degree, about this or about that, but the opportunities are there for everybody to grab them. If you don't just move to grab them, you're not gonna get it. I don't know if this is a satisfying answer to you, Bernardo and Dr. Rosemary Chika. I don't know if I addressed the issue adequately enough.
Yes, you did well.
Thank you.
All right.
For me, it is clear now.
All right, thank you very much. Let me see if there are other hands up. Let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that we are with Dr. Rosemary Chika Ile-Chukwu from Nigeria, and she's a doctor of economics. She just presented a topic on the action of SMEs, small, medium enterprises. And we are still open for questions. We have a good 15 minutes left. So if you want to ask questions, just go ahead and do so. Let me also indicate for those of you who might not be fully aware of how the process goes, at the very bottom of your screen, there is a menu, a horizontal menu. And one of those icons says reactions. So that is the icon that you click on, the icon that says reactions, so that you can choose whatever reaction you want to do. You can applaud, or we're not asking you to applaud, but among the options, one of them, the first one, as a matter of fact, is a hand. As long as you click on that one, your hand pops up on the screen, on our screen, and automatically that you do that. A short while ago, for example, there is one of the attendees who was waving nonstop. And at some point in time, I did realize that the individual was waving like this, but not clicking on that icon. So I allow him to make his point. But the appropriate, the best way to let us know that you want to speak, want to ask a question, or make a comment is to go to that reactions part of the menu. Hit on that, as long as you over your mouse on that reaction, then the menu, the sub menu from that reactions icon would pop up, and you will see the hand. You click on it, and your hand will show up. Pretty much like what is happening right now. Diallo Al-Hakimu has just done it. So this is your turn, Diallo. Your microphone. Your microphone is not on. I mean, you clicked on the icon, Diallo. However, your system is most likely connected to the wrong hardware. Pretty much, apparently, what happened to Dr. Rosemary earlier today. You hit on the icon for the microphone, but there is a confusion for your system. The computer is trying to determine which microphone you are apparently using, and if the computer cannot figure it out, we're not going to get sound from you, unfortunately. So now that presumably everybody understands or knows how to hit on the hand icon and let us know that you want to ask a question. So please just do so. Diallo, that's not gonna work for now until you fix that issue with your microphone. But every other attendee, please make sure you understand very well the points that Dr. Rosemary was making about economics in general, or very specifically the role of the small and medium enterprises in the economy. So don't leave without asking your question. Don't leave with any doubt or anything that you are unsure of. So please let us know what your question is, so that we can get you the opportunity.
Now I can speak.
There we go. Yes, I can hear you now. Diallo, congratulations.
Yes, thank you for giving me the talk. I have some question, just two questions. One question is what if by example, if we can have some hardware in computer science and engineering system to make some experimental practice and upload them on YouTube for laboratory, for practice laboratory example. If I can have by example, by sending by aircraft or DHL from United States to Mali some hardware to make the practice experimental in computer science. This is one question. Two question is what mean hardware service? Hardware service, it is when a student do hardware service, this hardware service will be considered to the Dallas monies, or how what mean hardware service? This is my question.
All right, thank you very much, Diallo. And guess what? I am anticipating that Rosemary is most likely not going to be able to address that topic, since it's about technology. But who knows? What do you think, Dr. Rosemary? If not, then I'll turn this over to Dr. Lambert. Let's begin first with Dr. Rosemary. Can you answer Diallo's question?
I didn't get him.
Yeah,
I didn't get his question.
Is mostly about technology, not on the topic of economics, your major, or the small medium enterprises issue that you brought up. Dr. Lambert, any possibility of Diallo or any other student doing some experimentation in the world of computer science uploading something through YouTube or whatever. I don't know if that's what you were asking, Diallo.
I won't talk.
Okay, this is the question that you were asking about experiments in computer science through YouTube, correct?
Yes, it's correct, yes. By example, some...
Dr. Lambert, I don't have the answer personally.
It is correct.
How would you do that? So you want to do research or you want to present your research?
Yes.
In the mathematics?
To
No,
present
in computer science.
In the computer science? Yes. I think if you want to present about that in the next symposium, that would be a great idea. Because we're going to have more symposiums on innovative ideas, and you have a great idea to present. So let's wait until the next symposium.
Are you okay, Diallo?
Yes, okay. Understand.
Okay. All right,
Thank you.
If there is another ramification of that issue brought up by Diallo, if you are a student and you want to submit a project, I mean, something that you've done and there is no way you can send it through text, it has to be some type of more direct experiment. And one way that you are thinking of is YouTube. That would be acceptable as well. You send us the link. If that's what you meant, Diallo, you send us the link and we go to your link and we see what you've done and we can respond to this activity. All right?
Correct.
Thank you very much, Diallo, for your question. We have about 7 minutes to go. Let's see.
Hello.
Salomon Ongoiba. Salomon did not hit that hand icon, but that's okay. Eman Bassi. I'll come to you, Eman Bassi, when we're done with Salomon. You will be last, most likely.
Yeah.
Salomon Ongoiba.
Yeah, Ongoiba, Solomon, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and thanks to the Dr. Rosemary. So let me put I want just to know how to get investors, because I have in Mali here many small projects start. But as we know, our economic problems have no money to implement our project. So can she tell me exactly some ways how exactly to find or have contact with investors? Thank you.
Thank you very much. But before even Dr. Rosemary intervenes, I think this is a topic that we have addressed earlier. Dr. Lambert and I have considered this for all of you guys, including yourself, the gentleman Salomon Ongoiba, to implement a project. There are two steps. The first step is to design the project, to design whatever activity you want to get into. And the next step is the most critical part, to find funding. And no matter where you are worldwide, when we are short of funding, you need money to execute whatever plans or projects you have. The solution is only to write grants. And if you write the grants correctly, you may be wherever you are, Salomon, or any other individual interested. Anywhere you are, you can write a grant. You know, the grant donors are within the, let's call them the rich countries around the world. And as long as you know how to do it, many of these grants are dedicated to third world countries. You will get the money, but of course, you've got to know exactly how to proceed, how to write grants, to ensure that you target the right people, you write your grants correctly, you include the appropriate elements in the grant, and then this is something that you can also learn at AIU because there are several courses that are intended for that purpose. So this is, to me, the right answer to get funding, to get money for your project. I don't know if you're happy with that answer, Solomon.
Okay, yes, I'm happy. I understand.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would just add that doing a business plan, a grant proposal, or just going to a government project. Sometimes governments have monies available just for projects and you just apply. So there are many ways to get money. And this is a priority in AIU to give you the information you need to search for money and obtain that money for your projects. So we have grant writing courses, business plan courses, and all kinds of courses. But there's two key aspects when you look for money is tie it into the UN sustainability goals. And also, if you can include some research data, some surveys, some statistics, something that gives them that you did some research into this project to know if it was going to be successful or not, and what the needs really are. When you can include some statistics and some research methodology, it really boosts the power of your grant proposal. Just, I want to throw that out there. That's based on experience of people who have received grants in the past.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Lem.
Thank you.
The last question is going to come from Emmanuel Kiboko-Oboa. This is your turn, Emmanuel.
Thank you, Dr. Franklin. Rosemary, thank you for the nice presentation. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Kiboko. I'm from Kenya, but I've been in Nigeria for some 6 years with the UN. Wow. Now, my question is, you have presented to us about the SMEs, and as I was living in Nigeria, I really saw there were quite a number. And my question is, what is the effect of these SMEs on the inflation rate in Nigeria? And how has it affected the GDP, the NDP, and the debt burden? And how has it helped in health development, sector development? Have you got any figures or anything to tell us about the effect of SMEs on all these areas? Debt burden, GDP, NDP, inflation rate, debt, health, sector development.
Thank you very much for your question, Emmanuel. Dr. Rosemary.
Yeah, I don't have the statistics of the number now, but what I can say is that, like here in Nigeria, due to the problems and the unstable economy that we have, and coupled with this COVID-19, so the small scale enterprises, they've been trying on their own. One is that the fund is not there. So everybody has been trying on their own to see how much they can produce, and then how they can, sell it out, on the high, level, and then it has already affected the GDP because they cannot be able to, sell higher as they produce because of the situations and because of the COVID that we have in Nigeria and because of the way things are going, so.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rosemary. That was the last about that outstanding presentation.
Can we go to Hemen Bassi? He has his hand up for quite a while.
Who's that? You said again?
Hemen Bassi.
Okay, Hemen Bassi. All right. Because Hemen Bassi, because he didn't hit that icon, that yellow icon. But go ahead, ask your question.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. This topic is of interest to me because last 2 weeks I did my project on online marketing on SMEs, and in Nigeria actually. And now here is Dr. Mary presenting consortia, which is also another idea similar to what I have done. So my major is just like as Dr. Mary is talking about. What I would like Dr. Mary to do is how does she intend to mobilize this idea into the SMEs? Because we have about 17.4 million SMEs in Nigeria, and SMEs constitute about 50% employment in Nigeria. And honestly, they are almost 90% of manufacturing in Nigeria. So it is very important for these SMEs to export their products in order to grow the economy. I believe that using the online marketing idea and then the consortia idea as an economics, having linked up together will help us to be able to lift these SMEs. And the inflation we are talking about, I believe if the SMEs are very strong, they will be able to grow and we will grow the economy and the debt burden will reduce and the GDP will increase. The UN also, luckily enough, I'm happy that this man has been in Nigeria, the UN man, and I believe that by the time we write proposal and then send it to them, they will be able to help us to mobilize, give us funds to mobilize these SMEs, to orientate them on online marketing and to orientate them on this consortia idea that Dr. Chika has brought. Thank you, Dr. Chika.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Herman Bassi. Thank you again, Dr. Rosemary. Everybody is happy with your presentation, and we hope to hear you again at either one of our future symposia. And suddenly the entire family of Atlantic International University will be happy to have you again for a similar presentation. Thank you again. God bless you.
You're very much welcome. Thank you.
We are now ready